after horizontal line, now I want to add a hyperlink. The power of a web page is actually in hyperlink, so you can browse from one page to the other, right? So in this example, let's say there is a link, it says click me, and when you click this link, we want to move to a let's say facebook.com page. So how can we do that? Okay, so let's add a tag. Tag is a tag. So let's add this a tag first. To move to other page, you may want to have a text that user can click. So let's say click me. This is a text that you can click. Okay, in this hyperlink, we need to provide some additional information. That is, yes, the forwarding web address. So the URL address should be saved in certain variable, and that's called the HTML attribute. So the attribute name and the value must be added. The name is href. So href is the name of the attribute, the referencing URL address. And then with the equal sign, with double quotation mark, you can add some values. So let's say HTTP with colon /www and let's say facebook.com. So this is a URL address where we want to go. So this is called HTML attribute. HTML attribute, how can we add some additional information? By adding the value, in this case it's a URL address, so the name is href. Okay, so now we need to test it. So you'd better, remember some shortcuts, how to debug it. So after you change any code, shortcut is Control S or Command S. So let's save it. I just, saved it using shortcut. And to move from one application to the other application, for Mac users, you can use Command Tab. And for Windows user, you can use Alt Tab. So using Command Tab, I can move to FileZilla. And then you can see there is a pop-up message. So I will click yes. So the file is uploaded. And to check this in your web browser, again, to move from one application to the other, I use Command Tab. For Windows users, you can use Alt Tab. So Command Tab, I will go to Chrome. And then from Chrome, I need to refresh it, right? You can click it, but another shortcut is either Command R or Control R. So using that shortcut, I just refresh it. Good. So now I have this link, click me. So let's click it. And it goes to facebook.com, the web page. But here you can see that we are using just one tab. So if you want to go back to your web page, you must go back, right? So is there any way we can open a new tab when you click this link? To do this, actually you can add one more attribute. So let me go back to your code. So I will go to Visual Studio Code. And inside here, we already have href attribute. But we can add multiple attributes, so with a space, and another attribute named target, it can be used. So let's use a target after one space, and the same format. So with the equal sign, let's add a value. If you wanna open a new tab, the value must be underbar blank. So that means in a blank web page, we want to open this link. Again, let's save it. So I will type Command S or Control S, Alt Tab or Command Tab. So go to your FileZilla and then click yes. Now it's uploaded. And then Control Tab or Alt Tab, go to your browser, refresh it. So Command R or Control R. So now it's refreshed. Although it looks same, the code behind this is updated. Now let's click. So what's the difference? Instead of opening this Facebook page in the same tab, you can open this in a new tab. So now we understand how the hyperlinks works. It's another example of HTML attribute. We want to add image file. So to add image, you can type img. And note that for image, there is no other HTML element like a text that you want to show. So similar to line break or horizontal line, we can just close this tag directly. But still, you have to add some additional information. What is additional information? Where the image file is located. To provide this, the attribute name is source. So src is the attribute name. And after equal sign, we can add this address where the source file is. So to link a image source, first we may need to download a image. So let's go to your browser, and in the new tab, we want to search a image. So let's say we want to search, for example, how about koala? So koala, we have this image. So let me click images. Okay, so we found one of these image files. So right click and let's say save image as, and then I will use a folder. So here I will just use the download folder, and let me write down the image name because we need to link this image from your web page. I will just use a simple name, so koala, and it's a JPG image, so let's save it. Okay, so I downloaded this, and now it is saved in your local computer. Local means your laptop or your desktop. So if you go back to files, in my case, under downloads, I have this koala JPG. So this file, koala.jpg, must be copied to the server. So on the right side, in the server side, currently I'm in M4T1. Under M4T1, be careful where you will create the folder. So under M4T1, I want to create a new subfolder. So let's create a new directory. So make sure it is currently home, your name, public HTML, M4T1. And inside M4T1, I want to make a folder img, all lowercase. So let's click OK. So I have this img folder that's one level below current my first HTML page. And then let me double click. So currently I am M4T1 img directory, there is no file. And I want to upload this downloaded JPG to the right side, the server's img directory. So I will move, drag, and drop here. Then on top, you can see that we copied this local file to this remote server. Okay. Now, let's move back. So make sure the file name, in this case, I have a JPG file. So the file extension is a JPG and the file name is koala. So if you click this two dot means your parent directory. So now I'm outside the img. Let's look at the structure. Currently, we are editing my first.html, and we want to show the image stored in img directory. And inside the img directory, we have this file. So now the question is how we can point that file saved in your server. Many times when you develop a web page, you use relevant path. Relevant path means based on this current file's location, where the image file is located. Very convenient way to use this relevant path is using two dot and one dot. Okay, two dot means your parent directory, one level upper directory, and one dot means your current location. So in this case, My first.html is under M1T1 directory. So if you look at current level, current directory, you can use just dot. So dot means what? Same directory, so M1T1 directory is matched with one dot. Under same directory with my first HTML, below here, what we have? img new directory. So you understand the meaning of this. The current location of my first HTML is dot. So that's M1T1 directory. And under this, we have img directory. And inside here, let's double check what's the file name. File name is koala.jpg. So let's use koala.jpg. So if it's successful, you can see the downloaded image file here. So if there is any error, like with X mark or question mark, and you cannot show your image, please double check whether your file is located in the same location, whether there is any typo, like a mixing of uppercase or lowercase. So make sure M1T1 there is img directory, and under img you have this image file. And also double check whether any typo in your source code. So again, the one dot means current directory. So under current directory we have img directory, and we have this file. So this is how to describe the source location. Just as the last practice for HTML attribute, in addition to this source attribute, we want to add, for example, width and height. So let me use width, and let's use how about 200 pixel as a size. So let's see how it works. So for example, Command S, and then here click yes to upload, and the browser. Let's see if I refresh it. Now image is shrinked. So same ratio has been used, but now width is changed to 200 pixel.